Okay.
Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is June 13th, 2022, and Bitcoin is being really dramatic, all right? And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by this. So I want to share all my thoughts with you. I'm going to try to keep this short because I have a lot of thoughts on what we're seeing in the markets, what my reads were, where I made mistakes, where I was correct, and where I think, I've sort of, I'm feeling very, how do you say, reassured, or my larger outlook is still intact, okay? But I missed a few things. I'm going to tell you what I missed, and I'm going to tell you what, I think I hit on. And what I think is really interesting that I don't know many people are talking about, but really leads back to one of the points I was making about altcoin season and stuff like that. And I guess let's lead off with that. So Bitcoin's been dumping. This is a crazy dump. I did not foresee this level of dumpage. Okay. And very quickly, reason being is this that you see here. I'm just going to hide it really quickly. This is what I think it is now. Okay. I still think that this is a larger reversal pattern, but I was seeing this as an A wave right here. Okay. And that's technically still correct. And so it goes back to what I was saying before. Don't always put so much emphasis on conclusions, but more the process, the method, of the analysis, because both this wave is an A wave and this wave is an A wave. They're both A waves. Okay. They're both three wave corrective structures, right? Comprised of three waves, 3-3-5 flat corrections. They're both that. However, in this larger reversal pattern that I've been talking about and, saying, we're in a reversal pattern, I see it throughout the market. This is not, and it cannot be the big A. Reason being, if this is the big A and then this is the B, this is the pivot. If this is the small a pivot, then this can't come down that far, right? If you take the Fibonacci retracement tool, you'll see that the 1618 or the phi ratio of this small a, if this were small a, the maximum retracement for this big B wave that we just got would be 26K. Okay. And that's what I was expecting. Obviously it was wrong. Okay. And that's okay. Sometimes that happens. A lot of times that happens. But the idea, the larger thesis of this being a reversal pattern and are looking for a big bounce in the market to satisfy. So let's go and zoom out for a second. To satisfy this move right here is still intact. I'm still of the belief that this range high needs to be tested, okay? And so whatever's going on here is a reversal for a move up, okay? So that is still intact. And moreover, the idea that this will happen in Bitcoin, but in altcoins, especially some altcoins like Cardano and Cadena, for instance, you're not just going to test range highs, but you've completed the major two-wave correction to then start your wave three. That is intact here. And you're seeing that because look at this watch list. I've got Bitcoin and a few altcoins that I'm looking at, okay? I'm invested pretty much in all of these except for EOS. EOS I'm just looking at because I want to look at it for other reasons. So why is it that Bitcoin has dumped about 13% right to this moment, right? It was 14 a moment ago. Yet you have most of these altcoins dumping half as much. You do not see that. You typically don't see that, right? We typically see if Bitcoin dumps X%, then your favorite altcoin dumps 2 to 3X%, right? And except in altcoin season, when you have some decoupling, and let's just go and see this dominance chart, right? And I always say Bitcoin dominance is a reflection of what's happening in the larger market. So in the larger market, this is showing us that you've gotten some resistance here at 48%, around 48%, okay? And Bitcoin dominance is tanking as Bitcoin is tanking. That's not something you see every day. What does that mean? Fundamentally, it means that the percentage of total market capitalization of Bitcoin vis-a-vis the entire cryptocurrency market is dropping as the price of Bitcoin is dropping. Okay, so a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, people who are emotionally tied to Bitcoin being superior in this space, right, and altcoins being inferior, will say the time has come and Bitcoin is reigned supreme. And what investors do is, as the price of Bitcoin drops, they sell their less strong positions. So like altcoins, things that they don't have as much confidence in, because they're considered more risky fundamentally, right? And they'll sell them into Bitcoin. And so you'll see what I just said. What you typically see, Bitcoin dumps X%, your favorite altcoin dumps 2 to 3X%, and they explain this as being, this is because these other assets aren't as valuable as Bitcoin. And if the market's going to drop, people are much safer and they feel more secure with their money being tied into Bitcoin and not these other assets. This right here, this chart right here, and what we're seeing in the larger markets, right? Just going back into my watch list, exactly the opposite is happening. And I don't think this is, I don't think there's necessarily a fundamental reason behind everything, but, just to entertain that thought, right? I think the charts are just the charts. And if it's an asset is distressed enough, there's a mathematical region, a point where it's very probable that, that asset, if everything else remains fundamentally, all the same, people will start investing in that asset after it's dropped a certain amount and hit critical Fibonacci levels, right? That's what I believe. I'm big on TA, not so much on fundamental analysis, right? Not to say I disbelieve in fundamental analysis. I just don't think that there's a fundamental reason behind all this stuff. Because how do you explain Bitcoin being down 13%, yet Cardano being down 6%, something like Telcoin, a relatively small market cap altcoin, being down half as much, right? And Kadena even being up for the day. How do you explain that fundamentally, right? And again, a lot of people who are subscribed to the channel, you guys also are of the same belief. So I'm preaching to the choir, but you guys understand the power of technical analysis. Now, so I think that's really interesting nonetheless. So I really wanted to bring that out, or to point that out. Yeah. So let's undo that hide. I want to show this here. Okay, perfect. So I'm looking at Bitcoin, and it's been dumping, but not as much as my altcoins. And I just so happen not to be invested in altcoins because I'm trying to create wealth, not preserve it. But then the value of my investments are being they're holding up a decent amount, and I'm still in all my positions. So that's good. Now, what is Bitcoin doing, and what can I expect? Given what I explained about my reversal pattern, right? And this whole thing being big A of my reversal pattern, right? And both, again, I'll repeat this, technically, if you see this as the A wave, that's technically correct. Both this and this can be A waves. They're both 3-wave structures, and they both target wave 4 of the previous impulse, okay? However, in this case, this has to be big A. This has to be big B, okay? The counter to that A wave. And if that is big B, then we know that we can go as far as around 22K. Okay, that's the phi ratio. That's a phi ratio of this A wave, okay? And we know B waves can't retrace beyond that if it's a B wave. Now, if it's not a B wave and we're still in impulse, then that phi phi ratio is going to break, and this is not a reversal pattern. This is just an intra-wave correction, probably a wave 4 correction. But I still maintain that this is a reversal pattern and that this B wave will respect the phi ratio. So we should be bouncing now or sometime very soon before we hit the 22K mark. Now, after that, in my reversal pattern, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll know you need a pivot. So I'm expecting a pivot in the market. So perhaps an A wave, again, a corrective wave, 3-wave structure, or it can be a 5-wave structure if we're going to print a zigzag. But I expect a test of this region right here around the 30K region for this pivot, okay? And after that, probably a retest, and that retest can come all the way down here again, right? Because it's a B wave, but a retest before the pump. At the end of the day, what you're going to see is one of these, right? W pattern or whatever, this reversal pattern, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it a pitchfork reversal, okay? But that's what I'm seeing in Bitcoin. That's where I think we can bounce. If you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Now, going into the altcoins, like I said, let's get rid of these graphic. Actually, let's just leave this here. But I want to draw your attention to this right here. This right here. So this is why I said Bitcoin's being dramatic. You have your A wave and your B wave retest is just so dramatic and, testing the phi ratio of this A wave. Not necessary. We get it. It's a retest, okay? In altcoins, right, you can see retests that are much more conservative, much less dramatic. Let's start off with REV, right? If this is true and I change my read on Bitcoin and us being just completing the big B of the reversal pattern, then that's true for some of these altcoins. Some, not all, but some of these altcoins. Then that is your A wave, okay, something like that. And all of this is your B wave. But notice the retest is probably to the 1 Fibonacci retracement, right? It's kind of even. You're finding support. You're not retesting all the way down here. Why is Bitcoin exhibiting weakness vis-a-vis altcoins? I don't know. I fundamentally don't know, but that's what the charts are showing, okay? So REV, you get a B wave retest, but not as dramatic. TEL, relatively small cap altcoin. You get a retest of your A wave, right? Your initial break of structure, but again, not as dramatic. Not as dramatic. You're not testing the phi ratio here. Cadena, a lot less dramatic. All right, it's just, it decided it retested the 1 Fibonacci retracement level, and it was enough, and it started turning around, and it's the only one in the watch list that's starting to be in the green, and it's positive, okay? Reserve rights, very interesting. This did not put in a flat correction. If this is your A wave right here, okay, then this is a 5-wave structure that is a kind of, actually, it would be like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I would say that this is a zigzag, and you can see I pulled the Fibonacci retracement, and the 3-wave correction met exactly the 618, right? And that's the definition of a zigzag: 5 waves in the start, 3 waves in the correction. Expect 5 waves to go up, but this held up extremely well. And it had its own sort of agenda in putting in a zigzag, despite Bitcoin dropping double digits. So this is interesting to me. I don't know why, but it's fascinating, right? You have people like Benjamin Cowan, lots of followers, very popular sort of analyst who, he'll just, at this point, it's a troll. He says Bitcoin dominance, it's pumping, and, Bitcoin's, altcoins, he's like a fascist about it. Like, if you buy altcoins, friends don't let friends buy altcoins and stuff like that, and altcoins are going to bleed against Bitcoin. You're seeing the exact opposite here. I don't know why, but this is just what you're seeing. It's what the charts are showing. DODO, this is interesting to me. When I look at DODO, and I think, okay, in Bitcoin and maybe Telcoin and REV, let's say that this was your A wave and you got a B wave and all of this was the B wave. I don't know that in DODO we didn't already get some sort of no, that's probably just a B wave flat correction right here. Yeah. So I could probably expect we can probably expect a pivot. I was thinking like Dodo's already in the pivot, but maybe some coins are in the pivot. I don't know. But this to me, if I'm just looking at it right now, looks like your big A. This looks like a flat correction, big B. So I do anticipate a pivot before a pump. Okay, so that's Dodo and Cardano. Same thing, right? I was under the impression that here was the A wave. Again, this is a legitimate A wave. You're targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. It's a 3-wave structure, but this is also a 3-wave structure, right? And therein lies the challenge of these reversal patterns, these corrective patterns, reading them. It's like, where do you where do you discreetly cut one off from the other, because it's all fractal. So it's a huge challenge, and probably why I'm in this line of work, because I like challenges, and it's a perpetual challenge to make heads and tails of all of this stuff. But let's say we did put in a big A in ADA. This is your B wave flat correction. I then also anticipate some sort of pivot before a pump. Okay, that's just what I'm seeing in the market, and that's why I'm seeing it. If you guys got value, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys are well. These are difficult times in the market. The operative sort of strategy, I believe, is to just stay alive, because the pump is coming. I still do believe that we're in a reversal pattern. So if you can stomach this downside, if you can stay in your positions, you're still likely to experience outsized returns on the for the pump. Okay, for the move up. All right, that's it for me. Thank you. Take care. Bye.